Hey everyone, my name is Ellen.
And my name's Alyssa. Welcome back to the Modern Singer Podcast. Happy New Year, Modern Singers. We are so excited to be back in action with a slew of information for you in the works. There are so many fun things that we have in store for you this year. To get there, Ellen and I sat down and discussed some of our bigger goals, and we broke them down into SMART goals. Today, we're going to tell you how you can use this system for yourself in any capacity, be it your career, your health and fitness, your money goals, and everything in between. This comes directly from my training as a personal trainer, and I am super excited to be sharing it in other aspects of my life as well.
So if you've never heard of a SMART goal, SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So let's chat about each one of them. So when you're setting a goal and using the SMART technique, you want to be A, specific, right? What are you trying to achieve? Why are you trying to achieve it? The second one is M, measurable. You want to make sure that your goal, the entire goal, is measurable, but also when you chop it up and break it down into smaller goals or step 1, 2, 3, 4, however you break it down. A stands for achievable. We all have goals, we all have dreams and aspirations, but is this goal that you're setting out for yourself actually attainable? Is it actually achievable? Is this something that you can do right now? R stands for relevant. So is this relevant to your lifestyle? Is this relevant to your dreams and aspirations? And T stands for time bound. When you're setting your goal, you want to make sure that you're setting a start time and an end time. You want to achieve this goal by, March. You want to achieve this goal by the end of the year. That way, when you're breaking up your goal into smaller actionable items, you can make sure that all of those action items add up and are finished by the time you want to reach your main goal.
And something that we have that you can use to also get there, because these don't have to be short-term goals. They can be like super long-term goals as well. We have our 1, 5, 10 year planner in our shop. So definitely check that out. It's a really great way to help start breaking down these SMART goals and helping hold yourself accountable to this last aspect, this time-bound aspect. Let's put it to work. So I made up a goal. Our starting goal is I want to be in a big track on Broadway, but I don't feel like I have the physical capability. Amazing. This was actually one of the things that I started working on in 2023. So let's turn it into a SMART goal. Here's the breakdown of each step. So we have S, specific. I want to be able to perform 8 shows a week without feeling exhausted. M, measurable. An hour and a half to an hour of endurance 8 times a week. A, achievable. Regularly being able to sing and perform for about 90 minutes. It's definitely achievable. People do it every day. R, relevant. This is relevant to my current career goals. It's relevant to roles that I am actively auditioning and putting in for. T, time-bound. Pick a date, any date. Now, with the specs of Broadway, life gets a little bit more complicated, but maybe picking, I want to have a big track in a musical, in a Broadway show, and letting the term Broadway be a little flexible, like maybe it's off Broadway, maybe it's regional, maybe it's a shorter term contract that's like 3-4 months, but pick that date. So the ending goal that we now have is I want to build my stamina and endurance, both physically and vocally, to be able to perform 8 shows a week in a leading role without feeling physically exhausted at the end of each show by the end of 2024. Amazing. So whether or not I book it, I can do it. So what are the action steps here? Regular cardio training, including the gym, as well as dance classes, which are also typically 90 minutes, making sure that there's vocal training happening, making sure that I'm practicing at least a couple days a week, making sure I'm singing for longer periods of time in multiple parts of my range, making sure that maybe I start picking up different shows and I just sing through them. Who's to say? Not me. I haven't started yet.
You're like, I just made it into a SMART goal, okay? And I haven't made them actionable items.
But now I have all of these things that I can break down into like my checklists, into my weekly to-dos, and make a practice schedule and all of the other fun things.
Absolutely. You have to start and create a SMART goal and figure out what you can do, how you can do it, how it's attainable before you can even start making the steps to achieve that goal. So now that you've made it a SMART goal, how can we make these as performers? One way we can do this is practicing for 20 minutes 3 times a week on set days and times. Schedule these out for yourselves. Maybe they're on days that you're not speaking a lot if you're a teacher or a yoga instructor or something that you have to teach for and use your voice. Maybe these are days that you have off or have a long break after or before, and you know that you can get some really good practice time in. Maybe these are days that you have off or something like that. Another way is making the commitment to yourself to be as consistent as you can without burning yourself out. Now, we all want to work really hard. We all want to achieve this goal in a timely manner. But when you start, set these time goals for yourself, try to be realistic. And then after like a week or two, depending on how hard you're working or how many, times a week that you're doing this, see if it's realistic. Are you vocally tired afterwards? Are you exhausted mentally? Are you trying to cram too much stuff into 1 week? That way you can really range how you're feeling physically and mentally, and then, adjust your timeline, whether that be just in the short term or maybe your entire long goal. And this is relevant to everything that you're doing. Make sure that you start small to build the habit and then grow from there. I do this every time I set a goal for myself, whether it's a large goal or a small goal, and I just go like gung-ho on it, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to do this. This is like my new thing. Like, I'm going to drink, 120 ounces of water a day, and I'm just like trying. And the first 2 days, I'm like, hell yeah, and I'm super great at it. And then I slowly trickle down, no pun intended with the water. And then and then I lose my stamina, and then it's not happening. And then I feel bad about myself, and then I'm just not doing it all. So make sure that you start small so that it becomes a habit, and then you build from there.
That being said, you also want to give yourself some grace, making sure that you're not trying to hold yourself to perfection, making sure that you let yourself trip up. You don't have to be perfect at it. There's going to be weeks that you're more tired than others. There's going to be weeks that you just physically cannot do as much. Maybe you're sick. Maybe you're in a show. Maybe you're
dealing with something at home.
Or there's something in your personal life. Give yourself some grace. You don't have to be perfect. Like, I'm currently dealing with an injury, so I haven't been able to take dance class, and I was in dance class at least once a week for 18 straight months, and I haven't been able to take in 2 weeks, and I'm really bummed about it, but also knowing that it's not in my control right now, so letting it go.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about breaking down long-term goals. I've got some examples here for us. So example 1, I want to build up my physical stamina and endurance so that I can do multiple shows a week. That, welcome to your personal trainer corner. It's going to be 30 minutes of resistance training 3 times a week and 3 days of cardio for 30 minutes 3 times a week. Now, those can be the same day. You can do a straight hour. You can alternate it if you want to get in there 60 minutes and you only have 30 minutes at the gym. But it's going to be something that's slow and steady rather than all at once. Next up, we've got, I want to spend more time with my friends, which is one of my 2024 goals. And how I broke that down for myself is spending 1 day a week doing something with my friends that has absolutely nothing to do with work. And that can be coffee dates. It can be going to a movie or a show or book club that I just started with a couple of my friends because we got really into the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. And now we're all just like talking about it, and it's so much fun, and it has nothing to do with work, and it's just connecting with my friends because we all do it. We all work with our friends, and sometimes finding that separation can be really hard.
Absolutely. I find this really hard for me because I work with a lot of my friends as well. I work all the time, it feels like. And so,
correct, same.
It is absolutely fantastic working with our friends. But yes, I think that's really an important part, that we just have to find time outside of work to spend with our friends that doesn't have anything to do with work.
The next one I have is I want to book a singing job. That is so vague. So what I did, this one is one I actually did at the start of the pandemic, was I applied to 5 to 10 gigs a day, be that singing, acting, commercial work, TV, film, all of it. Or you can also spend 30 minutes a day working on networking and growing your reach. That can be connecting with people on Facebook, reading newsletters, updating your website and your resume, updating your Yap tracker, your Actors Access, Backstage, casting networks, all of these things. Like, take 30 minutes once a week to do that. Maybe you take a couple of days for 30 minutes, you apply to a couple of gigs, you do some work on your website and your social media. That all counts, because just singing is not going to book you a job. You have to have everything else in the background too.
Absolutely, especially this day and age.
So the last one is one that I really like. It's something that I also, fun fact, all the examples are from my life. But this last one is I want to become an optimist. Spend 5 minutes a day writing down or meditating on the good things in your life, no matter how small. It could be a good cup of coffee, comfortable beds, fuzzy socks, getting a compliment from Maestro or your teacher, nailing that one measure of your cadenza that's been such a pain for months. And then you finally get it and you're like, yes. They don't have to be big things. They can be little things. Start small. Maybe you're cuddling with your cat. Maybe you have a FaceTime date with your friend. Maybe you learn to cook something new. But this last one, I find having changed my outlook from being a super pessimist from when I was in high school and college to having grown into be such an optimist is definitely, it's a choice that I had to make for me. It's not how my brain worked and I didn't enjoy it. So I changed it. And now I'm noticing that I have a lot bigger networks and I have a lot more going for me in my personal and professional careers. And it's just, there's a lot to be said. If you're a good person, people enjoy working with you and you keep getting called back.
Absolutely. I also, if you are creating your long-term goals and you're breaking them down and you're just like, this is a goal of mine, but I have absolutely no idea how to do it. Like, the first one Alyssa mentioned about building up your physical stamina, I would have absolutely no idea. Like, what do I do? Do I go to a gym? Can I do that at home? Is that yoga? Is that weights? Don't hesitate to reach out to anybody. You can put a question out on Facebook. If you're on Instagram, you could do like a poll or something, or like a question box.
You can even just do it on close friends.
Exactly. If it's something more personal or private that you don't want like the whole world to know, it does not have to be. You don't have to know everything to get these goals started. Feel free to reach out to us. We're always here if you have any questions, and if we can answer your questions, we always will. Ask your singing community, your teachers, your coaches. Make sure you're getting all of the information ahead of time so that you have all of the information you need to start achieving your goals. Now we've talked about it, like, what's the point, right? How are these things really going to change your life? It's going to give you absolutely more direction. Setting up achievable goals gives you the steps to take in the direction that you're looking to move in for your life. We all have these big goals, that seem very distant or far off, but breaking them down into SMART goals, breaking them down into smaller, more obtainable goals will help you achieve that big long-term goal step by step. Also, breaking them down into these smaller, more achievable goals and actionable steps will help you with burnout. When you're trying to do a major leap and go from 0 to 100, from beginner to booking a bunch of gigs, like that's just, that's not real life, right? That's not how it works. And working yourself, day in, day out, all the time, and not leaving time to dedicate to your mental health and your happiness,
to resting,
is just not realistic, and that's just not good for you as a human. Make sure that when you're breaking down these goals and you're making them to SMART goals, you're really, really leaving time for you and what's important to you. So that may be family or friends or books or, listening to podcasts or whatever that may be. Just a reminder that you are a human too. You are absolutely more than your job and absolutely more than your goals. And it's important to make space for that.
We would love to know what your goals are this year or whenever you're listening to this. And you can actually respond to the question in our Spotify. If you go to Spotify and listen to this, we have a little question box that you can respond to so that we can help hype you up. We can help really celebrate everyone's wins. You can also shoot us a DM on Instagram, but make sure that you rate, review, and subscribe to help us reach new followers.
And definitely don't forget to check out those show notes. We list all of our resources in there.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
One of us always does it.
Hey everyone, my name is Ellen.
And my name's Alyssa. Welcome back. Nope.
Can we start over?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.